Have you ever found yourself chasing after someone, seeking their attention, love, and approval? Each step you take is filled with effort, but the more you try, the emptier and weaker you feel. What would happen if, instead of continuing the chase, you simply stopped? Not out of anger or disappointment, but because you realize something deeper, that you are the source of your own strength. Once you understand this, everything changes. Imagine if you mastered yourself, you would no longer need to chase after anyone. Stoicism can help you achieve this. Instead of seeking love and validation from others, find true freedom from within. Inner strength, the concept of Stoicism. Stoicism teaches us that no one can bring us happiness except ourselves. Don't get it wrong, Stoicism isn't about becoming cold or emotionless. Instead, Stoicism teaches us how to control our emotions so they don't control us. We often mistakenly think that if we try hard enough, we can change others. You may have thought that if you were good enough, worked hard enough, the person you love would recognize your worth and love you back. But that is an illusion. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoics, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Your attempt to control someone else's emotions and actions only leads to you losing control of yourself. Remember, your strength does not depend on anyone else's recognition or love, but on your ability to control your own emotions and thoughts. Story example 1, the futile chase. To illustrate this, let me tell you the story of Jonathan, a young man who continuously chased after unrequited love from the girl he loved since college. Jonathan spent years giving gifts, sending messages, and even sacrificing his personal interests just to get a little attention from her. Whenever she didn't respond or acted indifferent, Jonathan grew more desperate. But then one day, Jonathan decided to stop chasing her. He realized that all his efforts were only making him feel exhausted and lost. He began to seek balance within himself, focusing on personal growth instead of trying to change her mind. Surprisingly, once Jonathan stopped and focused on himself, his life completely transformed. He no longer depended on her approval, and he felt stronger and freer than ever before. Lesson from the story. True freedom. What's the lesson here? True freedom doesn't come from trying to control others or chasing after love from them. True freedom comes from controlling yourself, your emotions, and your actions. When you stop seeking validation from others, you will find strength and freedom from within. Stoicism teaches that no one can complete you, no one can fill the void within you but yourself. Chasing after someone is not only a waste of time, but also a surrender of your own power. Remember, when you stop and seek inner peace, you truly begin to control your life. The trap of desire. One of the factors that often drives us into chasing after someone is desire. Desire is a powerful force. It pulls us away from what we truly want and turns us into slaves to our emotions. Imagine, you're deeply infatuated with someone and all you do is think about them. You get swept up in overwhelming emotions to the point of losing control. You forget your true self. You lose sight of your values and goals. All your thoughts and actions revolve around winning their heart, and this places you in a state of lost freedom. Epictetus, another famous Stoic philosopher, said, "Freedom is the only goal worth pursuing in life, and it can only be achieved by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." When you're chasing desire, you're giving control of your life to someone else, and this takes away your true freedom. Story example 2. Desire blinds us. Consider the story of Harper, a young woman who always dreamed of having the perfect relationship with the person she loved. When the relationship started, Harper felt like everything was perfect. But as time passed, she realized she wasn't living for herself anymore. All her actions were directed at pleasing her partner, trying to do everything to avoid losing them. However, as the relationship grew strained, Harper realized she had lost much of her true self. She no longer did the things she loved, no longer spent time with herself or her friends, constantly worrying about how to keep the relationship intact. Desire and the fear of losing her partner had blinded her, causing her to forget her true worth. One day, Harper decided to face the truth. She realized she had lost her freedom. She chose to stop and focus on herself, regaining her confidence and joy in her own life. From then on, she no longer felt trapped in emotional dependence, but became stronger and freer. Lesson from the story: confronting desire. What's the lesson from Harper's story? Desire, if left unchecked, can lead us far from our true selves and strip us of our freedom. When we stop chasing things that don't belong to us, we discover our true power. Stoicism teaches that instead of trying to gain validation from others, we should focus on mastering our own thoughts and emotions. When we master ourselves, we not only find freedom, but also peace within. Self-control. True strength. Stoicism is not just about abandoning desires and seeking freedom, but also about mastering yourself. Controlling your emotions, thoughts, and actions is the foundation of true strength. Epictetus taught, "No one is free if they cannot master themselves." Imagine a situation where you stop chasing after someone. You are no longer obsessed with what they think, what they want, or whether they will come back to you. Instead, you turn inward, seeking confidence, discipline, and patience. You start to realize that your worth does not depend on anyone else's recognition, but lies within yourself. That's when you experience true power from self-mastery. Story example 3. Mastering emotions. David's story is a prime example of emotional mastery. David used to be a very short-tempered person, frequently letting his emotions control his actions. In his work, whenever faced with difficulties or criticism, he would often react angrily and impulsively, making things worse. But after learning about Stoicism, David began to change his perspective. He realized that it wasn't external events making him angry, but how he reacted to them. Instead of letting emotions control him, he learned to control his emotions. Whenever he encountered challenging situations, he would pause, reflect, and choose to respond calmly and thoughtfully. This not only helped him solve problems effectively, but also made him feel calmer and more confident. Self-mastery is the greatest strength. What's the lesson from David's story? When you learn to master your emotions and thoughts, you will find true strength from within. Stoicism teaches that strength doesn't come from controlling others, but from controlling yourself. When you master yourself, nothing can shake your calmness or throw you off course. Conclusion. Summing up the lessons. When we chase after others, we not only waste time but also lose our own power. We become driven by emotions, trapped in worries, fears, and jealousy. But when we stop, focus on ourselves, and master our emotions, we find true freedom and strength from within. Reflect. Stop chasing after others and turn inward. Strength and freedom don't come from controlling others, but from controlling yourself. When you master yourself, you will find peace, freedom, and true strength. Ooh.